cover that's trying to start to work its way in here, but overall really nice afternoon across greater Cincinnati. It's not going to stay that way as we get closer to the weekend, though. I'm already tracking our next system. It's eventually going to be this cold front that's back out to our west that's going to roll through here tomorrow evening. So with that in mind, we have decided to go ahead and make tomorrow weather impact day, because it looks like as this line moves in here, it's going to come in just in time for any plans you might have tomorrow evening. There's a chance of hearing some thunder, seeing some lightning, possibly even some briefly gusty winds, maybe even some small hail within some of these storms as well. So these are going to start closer to about 7 o'clock for areas west of I-75, and then areas throughout Cincinnati, downtown, the metro. About 8 o'clock or so, we could see that chance of thunderstorms going up, and then heading into the rest of the evening, still holding on to at least a chance for seeing some rain, maybe still hearing a little bit of thunder as well. So coming up in a few minutes, I'll show you any other impacts that we feel with this, plus the nice weather left behind it coming up in a few. Sitting at 81 and 79 in Colerain. We've got a little bit of cloud cover out there, but overall just a beautiful day all across town. No rain to tell you about here locally. We'll stay that way for the rest of tonight. But our next system, this cold front right back out here, is going to start to work its way into our area, likely by about this time tomorrow, maybe a little bit later too, which is actually, we actually need to see the rainfall. The latest from the U.S. Drought Monitor actually does have the abnormally dry conditions creeping further to the north, closing in now on Cincinnati, the west side as well, and then our moderate drought starting to work its way closer to the 71-75 split. So we need to see the rain. The unfortunate thing is the timing with this, because it is coming in just in time for any plans you might have tomorrow evening. Rest of tonight stays quiet and dry. The driest part of tomorrow is going to be the morning up until about midday. Starting closer to about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, we could start to see a few isolated showers working their way into the area out ahead of the main line of action. That's a possibility. I don't think this is going to be a very big show for us, but as we get closer to about 7 o'clock or so, we start to see that main line of thunderstorms working its way through the greater Cincinnati area. So think about this if you're going out to restaurant week, if you're sitting outside, if you're going out to the Reds game. If you have any other plans tomorrow night, this is possibly going to impact some of those, because we're talking about a time frame of about 7 to 9 or 10 o'clock that we have that at least chance of some rain and some thunderstorms. An isolated thunderstorm could briefly get a little bit more robust, producing some gustier winds, possibly some small hail, and of course that thunder and lightning threat is there as well. The good news for Saturday morning is most of this looks like it's out of here by the time we wake up early Saturday. So your plans on Saturday should be unfazed by any rain chances that we have tomorrow night. Temperatures are going to stay in the 50s in the morning, warming up to about 79 or so in the afternoon. A couple of those showers will be a possibility, but really the impact of the entire system is going to be during the evening, with that rain threat kicking off right around 7 o'clock or so, or at least the thunderstorm threat kicking off around 7, continuing through 8, 9, possibly even 10. It doesn't necessarily rain every single one of those hours for any one specific spot, but it does at least look like we have the chance throughout the entire greater Cincinnati area from about 7 to 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. After that, looks great if you're going out to the Hall of Fame induction for the Reds game on Saturday. Fantastic. Low 70s then. Low 70s for Sunday's game as well. Kids run the bases on Sunday afternoon. Looks really, really nice for the rest of the series. Now, as we head into Monday, another impact day with the potential for another round of thunderstorms moving through. This is going to bring us a chance for some overnight storms really late Monday night in storms. Nice this evening as well. 81 in Hamilton, 81 in Harrison. So far sitting in the low 80s and upper 70s throughout Kentucky, Union at 79, and then Cincinnati itself sitting right around 80 degrees. We still have that sunshine out there, still a beautiful afternoon, but I'm already eyeing that front that's going to bring us that chance of rain tomorrow. It's way back out to our west, sitting over top of Omaha right now. You can see this kind of mean looking line of storms that's working its way through parts of the plains. By the time this gets to the greater Cincinnati area, I do think it weakens significantly, but it is still going to bring in at least the chance for some thunderstorms here by tomorrow evening. We also could see a few spotty showers earlier into the afternoon, closer to about this time tomorrow. That spotty shower chance is there. But then as we get to about 6 and 7 o'clock in the evening, we'll be watching this line of storms work its way in from the west and then moving into the Cincinnati area, possibly as late as about 8 o'clock, and then continuing to push east for the rest of the night. This is going to bring the chance for not only thunder and lightning, but then also that low end chance for some gustier winds, maybe even some small hail as well. So I'll continue to break this down coming up in a few minutes, as well as going over the beautiful weekend that we have ahead and yet another chance of some thunderstorms next week. And thunderstorms that's starting to work its way through here by tomorrow evening. The impacts this is going to have on any plans you have and how the rest of the weekend is shaping up coming up in a few minutes. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5 and we'll be right back. Nice day. Our wind shouldn't be much of an issue for the rest of tonight either. But I already have eyes on our next system. It's this cold front back out toward Nebraska, areas of Oklahoma as well. This is going to start to work its way across the plains and eventually to us here in the Cincinnati area by tomorrow evening. So this is going to bring us a thunderstorm threat. Right now, everything is pretty quiet for us. You don't have to worry about rain for the rest of this evening. Staying quiet today and then even into the first half of the day tomorrow before we start to see that rain threat going up, which I know the timing is not ideal with it being on a Friday night, but we do need to see some rainfall. So far, a lot of spots north of the loop have picked up rain this week, but we are starting to see those drought conditions kind of work their way a little bit further north, now south of the 71-75 split. We've got the moderate drought. This just came in this morning. We also have the abnormally dry conditions working their way closer to the Ohio River as well. So we do need to see some rainfall, and we'll get a little bit tomorrow. For the rest of tonight, as I mentioned, quiet, dry, temperatures stay in either the low 80s or the 70s for the rest of this evening before we eventually drop down closer to 60 by tomorrow morning. A quiet start to the day tomorrow, so sending the kids off on the bus or anything like that should be nice and dry for you. As we get into the afternoon, though, we will start to see these spotty showers beginning to develop. I don't think everybody sees this rain, but there is that potential to see a little bit of activity early in the afternoon tomorrow. And then as we get into the evening, by about 7 o'clock or so, we start to see our line of thunderstorms working its way into southeastern Indiana. Closer to 8, I do think we start to see some of that wet weather moving into the Cincinnati metro, Hamilton County. At this point, it looks like there could be 1 or 2 thunderstorms that gets a little bit stronger, not necessarily severe, but 1 or 2 thunderstorms could end up with not just lightning, the chance for some gusty winds is there, and then also some small hail is a possibility with some of these storms as well. Throughout the rest of the night, we'll start to see that rain threat going down and we're dry by early Saturday morning. So again, for tomorrow, I would say plan on those storms arriving by at least 7 o'clock, especially the further west you live, closer to 8 for the Cincinnati metro and just along most of our highways. But then for areas off to the east of that, could be as late as about 8:30 or 9 o'clock before you start to see that rain chance going up. And of course, timing of this still could change, but I do think anywhere from that 7 to 8 o'clock window at this point is looking fairly sound. Some small hail, the gusty wind factor there within a couple of those thunderstorms. It's not something that everybody sees, but it's still a possibility. And then after that, the weekend looks really nice. I think temperatures on Saturday look great. Sunday as well, if you're heading out to the Reds game Saturday, looks really nice for that. 75 for our high, 74 on Sunday for the high temperature. For Saturday, temperatures are going to be right around 73 for the Hall of Fame induction. First pitch at 7:15 should be down in the low 70s at that point. I mean, it looks like a fantastic night for baseball Saturday. Sunday as well, the afternoon looking really good. Monday, already an impact day. Not so much for anything that happens while the sun is up, but overnight, Monday, we do have that thunder sitting in the upper 70s and low 80s all across Cincinnati right now. We have 80 in Harrison, 78 in Cincinnati, and then still 80 degrees in Walton, Kentucky so far tonight. A really nice night all across town. No rain to tell you about here locally, but you can already see what is going to be tomorrow's cold front back out to our west. So with this, it is going to start to work its way across the Midwest, eventually here to the Cincinnati region by tomorrow, likely tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. As it starts to move in, still looks like most of it's going to kind of weaken out from what it looks like right now, but we still have that thunderstorm potential tomorrow, just for the heart of your Friday evening. So as we get into tomorrow afternoon, there will be the chance for a few showers out there. But once we get to about 6 to 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, that is when our thunderstorm threat starts to go up. So Chris, coming up in a few minutes, I'll show you any impacts these storms could bring and the timeline for when they're moving out. Chris? I'll show you the timeline for when they're moving in, most impactful, and how soon we get to that great weekend forecast. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be right back. Really gorgeous out there for the rest of the evening. No rain to tell you about on radar at this point, but that will change tomorrow as we start to see a cold front rolling into the region. That front right now is still sitting well off to our west. That is currently impacting areas of the plains. But here tomorrow, we'll start to see it making its way across the Ohio River Valley, bringing us thunderstorm chances here in the greater Cincinnati area, possibly as early as about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Right now, there's still kind of a mean looking line with this cold front. I do think it's going to kind of fall apart as it rolls into the Cincinnati area tomorrow afternoon and evening. So that is some good news for us in terms of our severe weather threats. Right now, those look to be on the low side. We could see showers as soon as the early afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures should still make it into the upper 70s, but our storm threat goes up closer to 7 o'clock in the evening, which is going to stick around for a few hours into tomorrow night. Now, I say the severe weather threat is on the low side, and it is. Again, it doesn't look like much of an issue for us, but we could see 1 or 2 thunderstorms that happen to tap into a little bit of energy that become a little bit stronger, likely still sub-severe, but could bring in some gusty winds, possibly even some small pea-sized hail. So don't be surprised if that ends up happening tomorrow. I do think some lightning is a good possibility as well. Driest part of the day is going to be tomorrow morning. Temperatures are going to be pretty mild to start things off as well, likely falling down tonight closer to 60. As we get into the afternoon tomorrow, here's 3 o'clock. We've got that chance for a few spotty light showers to move through the area. By about 7, possibly as early as 6 for some of our southeastern Indiana communities, we'll start to see our line of thunderstorms moving through, and this is what could bring the chance for some lightning, the chance for some briefly gusty wind, possibly even some small hail, as well as a good healthy downpour, which again, we need to see that rainfall. I think overall our totals are going to be anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of rain. Here we are by 9 o'clock, and we'll still see that line kind of working its way east of I-75. So I do think this is going to have some impacts on any outdoor plans tomorrow night. If you're doing dinner out, if you're going out to the Reds game, I can't rule out the chance for a delay or something like that for tomorrow evening. Good news is by the time we get to Saturday, it looks beautiful and will stay nice for the rest of the weekend. Again, for that timeline, thunderstorms start to move in here, and some rain too. Not all thunderstorms start to move in here by 7 o'clock. 7 to 8, I think, is when the Cincinnati Metro is likely to see that potential going up quite a bit. It's an impact day tomorrow, of course. Then as we get into Saturday, we've got the Hall of Fame game happening. Temperatures are topping out around 75. Looks great for the game. For the induction, 73, closer to 71.